I saw that
You're
like that.
Benadryl
I saw a thing about Stephen King that I can't remember which book it is he wrote, but he doesn't remember writing it. It's like one of the big ones. It's like,
Cujo.
yeah, I don't. It is Cujo. He doesn't remember writing Cujo because he was on this bender and they listed the things he was on, the substances, and it started off, normal, like it was like alcohol and I don't know, maybe prescription painkillers and then some Xanax, and then it was like Robitussin, NyQuil, and like 2 or 3 other mouthwash. Apparently, he was going through like a couple bottles of it a day or something. I don't know. He was like robo tripping while he wrote Cujo. It sounds like
Why
that.
mouthwash though? Like that's just
I don't
alcohol
know,
gets
man.
you drunk, right?
Yeah, I would think, or no, it'd probably make you very sick because they would put stuff in there. Like usually products that have alcohol in it that would get you drunk, like ethanol, they put shit in there too, so that if you drink it, it makes you feel sick.
You reckon he was
Back
like
then, though,
boiling it
maybe
off,
not.
doing some like chemical shit?
Yeah.
Oh,
like
that might be
antifreeze kind of
You
stuff.
might be too current though. That's a good point. Like drinking
Because
mouthwash
wasn't
was
that
a
written
thing
in
that
like the 80s?
drinking
could be.
mouthwash was a thing that like kids and alcoholics did when I was young.
So I guess you just buy a big old jug of Listerine and
I don't
go
know.
to
Like
town.
I think it's
didn't
like
do it when
one
I
of the
was
very
young.
few ways. You're buying alcohol without an ID. What's weird is that Stephen King, a grown ass man who, if he was writing Cujo, then he'd already written Carrie. So he's already a rich man, not a wealthy man.
he's got enough money to not be drinking.
He's got liquor money.
Yeah. He's got
Yeah.
bottom shelf vodka money. Like, yeah,
Dude,
you're right. Like
liquor
at that point,
the
that's a
cheapest of drugs.
choice. Like maybe
Yeah,
there was
he's like,
something
I
in the
just want to be a
Listerine.
starving.
Oh, nothing
artist.
hits like Listerine Cool Mint.
Maybe
This
he
is like- it's
isolated
like in
himself
the-
like that guy in Misery, like you go in a cabin
Yeah.
and start writing.
Yeah. And all you have
This
left
is like
is
the early 80s though. Like he could have just gone and got diet pills and just like got fucked up.
Oh, he
There
was
was
on
no
all that. too, I
DoorDash.
bet.
Would have been cheaper.
Yeah, he was definitely on all that stuff. Like Kyle was saying, like he was on sleep pills, cocaine, uppers, downers, sideways, probably ludes. I only know about those.
Dude, I
because
hear
of,
such good things about Quaaludes. Don't you
yeah.
want one?
I didn't really know
I
what they
still
were
make them.
until they explained it to
I
me. In Wolf
don't
of Wall
think you
Street.
can get them anymore
You can't.
because the active ingredient in them goes off. Apparently, I looked into this and yeah, they haven't produced them in so long, and the active ingredient goes off, so you can't get them anymore.
You had to keep. I can't remember who it was, but there's a story that they told. It's a comedian or somebody, but they had some Quaaludes that had been in a freezer for like a decade or something. And then like, is it Wolf of Wall Street where Jordan Belfort does the Quaaludes?
Yeah, yeah.
And then that's when he
Yeah.
can't. He's like crawling into his car and like drooling and stuff. It's ridiculous. Yeah. That I wouldn't want to do that, but Quaaludes.
Just do ketamine, basically the same.
Yeah,
And easy to
Woody
get.
knows all about ketamine.
I'm a ketamine expert.
Mm-hmm. Well, hobbyist,
Don't put me down, Taylor. This is my shining moment. I'm the guy who has the drug experience on the show.
Yeah, no, I've never done ketamine. Kyle's never done ketamine. I guess you guys are the experts.
Ketamine's dope.
Yeah, it's sick.
But I mean, Woody was using it and like journaling, introspecting, thinking about things. Were you doing that when you were doing ketamine, Slush?
No, I was just rolling around on the ground, just like tickling my mate, and then we were just laughing our heads off. It wasn't very introspective at all.
Rolling on the
were
ground,
just-
tickling me, mate.
Yeah, no, we were just fucked.
If you were more introspective, you'd realize you were gay.
Yes.
Yeah. No, it was
It's a good thing
we
you
just
didn't
turned
journal it and
into
process
fucking,
it.
No,
and
no,
we were just brain damaged slugs. There was
Yeah.
Making notes afterwards. You know what? I really want to suck dick.
I think
Yeah.
that like
Oh, it was fucking
rolling
weird.
on the ground, tickling and laughing with your friend on ketamine. That's what you do when like Maslow's hierarchy of needs, everything is hit other than that pinnacle of friendship and camaraderie. Really, it just showed that you're really well.
I think we had Rick and Morty on, and we're like, yeah, let's watch the new season of Rick and Morty. And then my mate's like, even better, let's like put a mattress on the floor here, and there's like 5 of us, and we had like a bunch of mattresses on the floor, so we're laying down to like watch Rick and Morty. And it was after one of my friend's funerals, so we're like really fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, to make this even better, let's all just do like fat lines of ketamine and then just like fucking watch Rick and Morty and be completely fucked. And so yeah, we were just brain damaged slugs.
Hey,
Just
Slush, that would
Jesus
make this
Christ.
even better. Like if we tickled each other with our shirts off.
Oh no, it was just fucking weird, man. Because we were just fucking high as shit.
Nothing gay about it. It's just kind of a tickler, and it's
it'd be even crazy as if you jerk me off. No, I was kidding. I was joking.
It's just like we're all sick.
It's a joke.
The fact that
don't make this better.
Yeah. Hey man,
you get to feel good.
Nothing gay about getting high on cat and then fucking watching Rick and Morty with your mates.
I kind of deep in my K-hole, and I wish that your beard was pressed against my tummy right now. That would make this even better.
See, I know for a fact, Woody, that you're not a long-term drug user, because when you use drugs a lot, you start working out these dumb systems that in your mind make sense while you're high. So like when I was really into doing lots of speed and smoking a heap of weed, we'd order like multiple pizzas, and it was like a specific system. So you'd order like at like 6 p.m. you'd order like 5 pizzas for like 3 people, and you put 2 of the pizzas in the oven and leave them in there at 100 degrees, and then at like 2 a.m. when you start taking speed and you realize that you're super fucking hungry, you can smell the pizzas coming from the kitchen, and you're like, well, that's right, we have fucking pizzas. Like, I left those for myself before. And then you go and get them. So that's the level of drug use you get to when you have this
I like
setups.
Past Slush is like leaving gifts for future Slush to smell and discover.
And that's good because it also shows that there were probably dozens of times where you did it before you learned this pizza trick, and there was like a blind panic at 1 a.m. of like, where's the food? Like, what are we gonna do?
a new stoner comes to the group and he'll bring like knowledge from previous like stoner antics. Like we had one guy, he came and he was like, hey man, we should fill up the water in the bong with ice, and it makes it a bit cooler. It's a bit lighter. And we're like, yeah, okay. So then we took that on. That was then part of it. And then you start doing that shit where you're high. Like one of my friends was into making leather wallets, and so he made a little gun holster for our bong because it had a picture of Ned Kelly on it. So he made a gun holster for it, and then we got one of those little butane gun lighters, and so the bong always had a lighter on it because it was always strapped. Because it had a holster with a gun, so you never lose the lighter. It was like this took us fucking weeks to work out.
Like an oral tradition of drug abuse.
Yeah,
where you learn from your elders, and someday you'll pass this down to someone else.
Yeah, none of it's written down. Yeah, it's all just like campfire singing, bro. Just passing it on like fucking
like the Iliad.
Cro-Magnons.
Mistakes along the way when you're repeating it to your friends. But and after Woody did, I had never in my life thought like, oh yeah, I should do ketamine. Like it just had never been on it's never been a drug I've given any thought to. And then when Woody did it, I'm like, fuck, man, like maybe I should order ketamine on the internet from this doctor that Woody's buying it from.
And you're like, wait a minute, isn't this how Kyle got in trouble?
Closed.
Is this legal in your state to get ketamine? Because I know it's not legal to get it here.
Yeah, you can do exactly what Taylor described. You order ketamine off the goddamn internet, and they send it to your house in 2022.
That's what Woody did.
2019.
Legal.
Is it enough? Is it enough ketamine to produce like a dissociative state? Like
yes. So I'll lay it out there. This isn't sponsored, but the company is Mind Bloom, and I was a little like down at the time, and I guess like you take ketamine sort of once a week, and it's a way to think things through and maybe just even chemically sort of readjust and bring a little joy. All right, cool. So the first time you take it, like you give them your weight, your age, or whatever, and they take a guess, and they're kind of trying to come in like low but good. And I forget the numbers, so don't get hung up on them. But I think the first time I did it, I took like 450, and I was like, it worked and it was nice, but when you're drinking, how you can be drunk and sort of acting a fool, and then your parents come and now you're acting sober. I was like, I felt like I could have done that. I want to be at a place where there's no denying the high. Right? I want to be in a place where I'm stuck drunk, where my parents come, I'm just fucked.
Yeah.
And they're like, we got you. So they change it from like 450 to 800. And with that, yeah, man, you're high, and you're it is like a bobsled ride where once you start this, once you've done it, you got to get to the bottom, bro. There's no other way. There's no other way down. You need to continue on with this path that you started. You can't just eject out the side.
No way back scenarios, whether they're literal or not. I like them because they simplify things so much, and you're now allowed to focus fully on getting to point B. Like that. Going down a hill is a perfect scenario. Like we used to slide down hills in all sorts of unworthy craft and vehicles that we would make ourselves, and it was always like, all right, once we like kick off here, like there's no stopping. We got to ride this out. I had this bicycle that had been turned into a chopper, so it was like super long, unwieldy thing. I took that down my dad's hill. That hill, Woody's seen it. It was awful. It was awful. I tumbled and tumbled. You did set it on fire. It'd been on fire.
Fucking
before.
Glenn Beck put me on blast for it.
Well, Glenn Beck has. That was funny. Yeah,
that was like irresponsible gun owner of the week or something. Like,
Glenn Beck, really?
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, we were filming something and we set the field on fire, and or Woody did, I suppose, technically, and then we kind of ran around comically putting it out, because how else do you put out 15 tiny fires in a field?
Yeah,
but comically,
yeah. You put like
slowly.
Every fire is trying to grow, so you can't just take the fire and bring it down to 0, then move to the next one, because then the other ones grow too much. So you kind of just take that 100% fire, knock it down to like 15. We'll deal with you later because we got a couple other 100 still raging. And, it was
crippling fires everywhere.
Yeah.
No, that's fun. I don't know how many times I've done that growing up, like goofing around and set the yard or the field or something on fire and having to very quickly put the fire out.